Summertime's here, and to us ferreters, that means ferret kits. You're right, that means we're breeding. And we're breeding really, hopefully, to further and better what we've already got. And last year I went into detail on how we put the prey drive back in, but this year I'm going right back to the beginning, because I've had a lot of feedback and requests from people through our website, pickvilleferrets.co.uk, or the Shooting Times UK YouTube channel, and what they want to know is basically how do they breed them, how do you handle them, and how do you get your ferrets basically in tip-top condition. So I'm just going to quickly run through what I think that I need to do to get these little kits onto a fruitful and healthy life. To a lot of people, especially beginners, breeding ferrets appears very daunting, but like most other things, you know, it's quite simple. Get a good hob, good stud, get a good gill, put them together. 42 days later, you then have a litter of kits, and you could have anything between 1 and 12, even more, in a litter. But what I tend to do is I resist temptation to have a peek and get one of those little sneaky little pictures for Facebook too early, because you never know, they may take a hump, and in the ferret world what they could do is then eat the litter and then come back into season, but I just leave them for a couple of weeks and then have a quick little peek, make sure everything's okay, and then just let mother get on with it. In about 3 weeks I put some rabbit meat in there, and then they just go hand in hand. You know, they grow up 4 weeks, their eyes are opening up 5 weeks, and they start to be handled properly about 5 weeks by me. I'll take mother out, give her a little break, get the ferrets out and just get them used to being in your hands and running around the dogs and seeing the silhouettes and hearing bangs and doors cluttering and neighbours whistling, just socialising them really. And it's all about socialising them, because at the end of the day, having ferrets, breeding ferrets, got to be fun. It must be fun. And having your ferrets, especially for your first time, it should be fun. It shouldn't be, you know, a chore. It should be fun. So in your hutch, you get your ferrets. Now a lot of people get their ferrets at this age, about 7-8 weeks, and they are dopey little things at this age, but they're going to grow up very quickly. 16 weeks they're going to be fully grown, and the difference between a playful little nip at 8 weeks and a little bite at 16 weeks is quite a lot, I can tell you. So just get them used to being handled. Of course they are going to nip, because all youngsters do, but it's just a nip. The more they get used to being handled and being in your hand and being picked up and being reassured at who you are, and you speak to them because your voice is a powerful tool as well, they're going to get accustomed to you, and you're going to be well on the way to having your ferrets that are going to do you well throughout the winter months. At 8 weeks of age, these are ready for the new homes, but these are all staying with me, and I'm going to test them this winter to see how I get on. I've had one litter here of 6, 5 hobs in that 6, which is what I'm happy about, because I do tend to work a lot more hobs now. Problem is they do change in the summer. I will show you in a minute that a pristine white ferret in the winter isn't always necessarily pristine white in the summer. In fact, I got one in the shed jaws. He's that smelly, even the flies don't go near him. He stinks at this time of year, but in the winter, like he's been washed in dyes. Now, because I've been putting some rabbit in to help aid, obviously kickstart this prey drive, it does bring a few problems, mainly flies and some fleas, especially if I'm using fresh rabbits. I'd like to use frozen rabbits because that kills them all off, but at some times and you just can't, and you want to use some fresh stuff. Unfortunately, that means fleas and flies on fresh meat and warm weather. So I've got a lot of fly traps littered about. I also use some spray to spray the hutches, which doesn't harm any animals or plants or wildlife, but it does get rid of the fleas. So again, there's ways of getting over any little problem, but it's easy if you know how to get over the problem. But a lot of people still have these problems, they experience these problems for the first time, and we have the beauty of social media now. When I first had a ferret, we didn't even know what was going on in Norfolk, so you know, it's a different world, sometimes for the good, sometimes not so good, but on the welfare of the ferrets, it's definitely for the good, because people are now having healthier, happier stock. If they get problems, they can go on the internet, they can go on social media, and they can ask, and if they ask the right people, then they're going to get the right answers. And that only means having a better appreciation of the ferrets that we keep. And as I said, I keep reiterating, ferrets should be fun.